Okay, mic check. Well, I'm the MAS, the TER, the G to the double E. You see, I go by the unforgettable name of the one they call the Master G. Well, my name is known all over the world by the foxy ladies and the pretty girls. I'm going down in history as the baddest rapper that ever could be. Boom! Classic Sugar Hill Gang, Master G. Hello, America. Hello, world. Hello, you. It is your new best friend, Cashmere, California. And I'm a better rapper than I am a podcaster. But this is the Pod is Good podcast, aka the notorious P, the I, the G, episode 65. Pod is good. And all the time, if you know, you know. If you don't keep listening, you will learn. Today, it's time to get a little healthy, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to focus on the inside. So much of our lives, we focus on the outside. We got bills, we got kids, we got jobs, we got cars and houses and finance. We got so many things to take care of. And oftentimes, we don't take care of ourselves. And oftentimes, you tried plenty of times. Those New Year's resolutions that it's only March, but maybe those are over already, or sometimes those birthdays that pass by, you see yourself in the mirror and you go, I'm gonna take care of that. And then what happens? You fall off. Accountability. Accountability is one big factor in the reason why a lot of us don't reach the goals that we set. And so our health journey is no different. And today's guest is going to help us with some ideas on how to navigate that to be a little more successful in our health journey. Let's get it going. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pod is Good Studios. My mom, Miss Jettie Taylor. Welcome, mama.
Hey. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you back. You look amazing. You
Thank
look
you.
amazing. You're wearing my favorite color.
Hey,
You're styling
had
with
to
the black.
represent.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. To everybody out there, if you haven't seen the other episodes with my mom, please go watch them. Not just because it's my mom and I am showing favoritism, but also because it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. You'll get a lot from it and you'll get a lot from the episode today. But first, I think you had a great idea. I think we should start properly because this is not just about numbers on a scale, right? This is not just about a report from the doctor saying that your cholesterol is down. This is really a spiritual journey when it comes to taking care of our temples. So, in that journey, as we do always, we should begin with a prayer. Would you like to lead us?
Yes, I'd be glad to. Gracious Father, we come to you, oh God, just thanking you for another day. I thank you for this opportunity, this time, and this platform to share what you have given to me. We ask you to bless our time together. Bless those who will listen in and not only be hearers, but doers of your word for better health. We love you, praise you, and thank you. It's in Jesus' name we ask these blessings. Amen.
Amen. Now, many of you may not understand, but what you just witnessed might be the first time that it's ever happened in live podcast history where there was a prayer on the podcast. I mean, plenty of people probably pray before the podcast, like people pray before the game and before the show, but during the podcast, you know what I'm saying? We got to elevate. We can elevate with my mama. You know, my mama here. Mama Wolf already saying amen. Amen to that.
Amen.
All
Yeah.
right, so let us begin the journey. So, we've talked a lot. You have some publications that have been released. All right, you've been on your own promotional tour from here to the south to the east. I mean, you've been all over Midwest. Everybody done seen your face. Books going out, flying off the shelves. Please let everybody know what you've been up to since the last time we saw you.
Wow, I can't remember the last time, but I did go to a couple of places in Missouri, and I went to Memphis, Tennessee, and I went to Atlanta, Georgia, to a conference, just really trying to spread the word about the message that God has given me, about the book that God has given me. His people are so unhealthy. We're supposed to be the light. We're supposed to be the shining example
Mm,
of His love and of His grace and His mercy. And we're really leaning on grace and mercy because a lot of us are so unhealthy. So He just has given me this ministry to just go, and people know, but just to make them more aware, and like, here are some options, and here's some things that you might want to try that may help you along the way.
got you, got you. And so, how was it out there? I mean, that's a lot to go from Cali to Tennessee, Missouri, Georgia. You moving around. Did you have any experience in either of those places that was better than the other? Anything that stood out? Just being out there with the people.
Just, well, my cousins in Memphis, Tennessee, they showed a lot of support. They had a game night, and so everybody came. The house was full, and everybody bought a book and wanted me to autograph it. So that was really good.
Nice.
I traveled on to Atlanta, where I was going to a ministers conference, and it says women in ministry. So I was assuming it was just women who were head of ministries, but it was actually like pastors and preachers that were involved in that conference. So I was able to really have conversations with them about how unhealthy we are, and how, God wants better. And He's reaching out through this book in order for, to give them a resource. To start the conversations, and to start grouping, and to really, look at their congregations on like how healthy they are.
Mm, that's good. That's really good. We're gonna dive into that in a second. I just really want to know, what games did they play at the game night?
Actually, it wasn't like a game night. It was like they came, and it was like there was a football game or something on television. So
Mm,
they came over, and their
got
team
it.
was playing. So that was their game night.
Got it. I guess that's just a silly kid in me. I heard games. I immediately was like, what they play? Okay.
Right, right, right.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. So you said they're gonna start talking to their congregation. Was that, I guess, kind of your idea for the book? Did you want it to be presented in front of a congregation? Was this more of like a corporate thing? Did you want it to be just personal? Like, is that going in a direction that you felt like God was telling you the book needed to go?
Yes, initially when I was in school, they were saying, pick your niche, pick your audience, and I finally said, okay, I want to do the faith-based community. And then I kind of veered off, and I started trying to do corporations. I wanted to do like a brown bag lunch thing, where I would come in either, physically, or, over the internet, and I would just do like a Zoom where I would do like a gut health workshop. And
Mm,
then COVID happened, and so shut that, all down. I was working with the Small Business Administration here in Southern California, but cut that out. And so that's when I switched to the Facebook Lives, and I started doing those every week. And then God just reminded me before the lives, it's like, okay, you said that, and this is why I'm calling you
right.
to, call on my people to, to minister to them. And so
Mm,
that's kind of like I had to do a U-turn, and that's when the lives came in. And then ultimately, after the lives came another little tidbit. After the lives was like 5 months, and then I did like a thing where it was like I was on lives every week, like Motivating Moving Monday. I had Say
okay.
Tea Please Tuesday, had Worshiping Wednesday, had I think herbs on Thursday. Friday was like Friday Free for All, and Saturday was spices. So it's like, I gave you,
Wow.
you were faithful weekly. Let's see how faithful you can be every day.
Right,
You know,
right.
and so I
Wow.
did that, and after that came the book.
I'm pretty sure you got a lot of inspiration and content during that time to even
Yes.
go into the book.
Yes, the book was basically based on the 5 months that I did
Mm,
the thing. So it was on the first, the book is like the first month, where I introduced myself, and I introduced the ministry, and introduced exactly what the gut is. Like, people say gut and you think your stomach. And so it's like, no, it's actually this, and this is how it works, and this is what's good, and this is what, just information. And so that's what the first book was about.
Gotcha. Okay, so I know we're gonna get deeper into the health side of things, but you know me. Come on, I want to go back for a second because I want to tap into. I know who you are now, but as kids, we're not all super health conscious. We want what we want. So I would like to know. Matter of fact, let me say it this way: I need your top five. Your top five childhood guilty pleasures, but like eating, like tricks or moon pies or hubba bubba, whatever. Like what did I know one? I know one because I've remembered it since you told me as a kid, and I've heard it from other women, other pregnant women, and I was like, my mom said that, so I know one, but I don't know if
What's
that
that?
was it was those big pickles
Oh,
with
with the
peppermint.
peppermint inside? Or
But I don't know if that was like as a child though.
it was,
Yeah.
that's when it started. Because I think I got that from my dad, actually. Because he
Mm.
said they used to do that. So that was like passed down. But when I was a kid, I liked everything. I liked ice cream because dad used to do revivals, and then he would always bring us milkshakes home. So I liked, late at night eating, gulping down those milkshakes and candy, cookies, pies.
But
I
but
liked it
nothing
all.
that nothing that comes to mind that is like, oh, I remember that used to no cereal that just made you no specific candy that the moment you went down to Browns, you was like, I gotta have one of those.
Um, no, we used to like the what do you call that? Chick something?
Chico
Chick-fil-A.
sticks?
It wasn't, yeah, Chico sticks. I
Chico
was like
sticks.
Chick-fil-A. Chico sticks.
Yeah, I was eating Chick-fil-A like candy.
No, like Chico sticks, those now laters,
Mm.
um, and the Jolly Ranchers, um, yeah, like cream filled cookies, like vanilla cream
Ah.
filled cookies.
Yeah, yeah. I remember, and I feel like you told me this, that in the Midwest, you guys actually had now later flavors that were a little
Yeah.
different than what we see now. Do you remember any flavors that were a little different than what you saw later after you moved to California?
No, because it was
No.
always the basics. I don't remember.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys had like
Strawberry,
chocolate or something.
banana, cherry.
Okay, so it was all fruit. For some reason,
Yeah,
I felt like you guys had like chocolate now laters and
I
like
think
all.
we did. I
Yeah.
think we did have. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
was
know
more
one.
into the fruity, so
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. I just it kept playing in my head when I was younger, and I was like, why can't I find those? Because you just want what you can't have. Um, that's just how it goes.
what is Mama Wolf singing?
Oh, you were talking about the gut. I was gonna pull it up, but you talking about the gut and what people might think that the gut is, and she said, so it's not the flabby thing that's just hanging over her jeans. That's not all of the gut. There's more to it. So
Right, that's like the flabby stuff that's hanging over is actually not the good at all.
that's not the gut at all. so so we all got something else to figure out to get rid of that part. But that's a great segue back into where we are. So, earlier you said what God was telling you, to tell the people that He was reaching out to His people through the book. So, if you um, break that down, what is He trying to tell His people through the book?
It's like there's a passage in the Bible that says, it's like a man looking in the mirror, and looking at his reflection and then turning away and immediately forgetting what he looks like.
Mm.
So it's like we know what we look like, but then it's like sometimes it's hard to, okay, which way do I go? Where do I start? What do I do? I know I need to do better. I know I want to do better, but I don't have the support. I don't have anybody, everybody around me saying, because I went through this when I first started my journey. It's like, oh, she eats healthy, like it's a bad thing. It's like, oh, she doesn't eat that. Or all we have is this, and this. You can have this if you want. I mean, that kind of thing. And a lot of people don't hold up under that pressure. And so God just wants to know that, for one, we're not alone because He wants this for us. But then there's other people around you that you might not know that they want the same thing too, but you two haven't connected. So the ministry is really big on going into spaces and places and saying, giving them the whole thing and like, okay, can you gather a group together so you can support each other? A while back when I was down up north in Mount Calvary, I did a men's ministry. I did a presentation with them. And I broke it all down to like, break into groups of 5 to 8 people and have one person who is your prayer warrior, because that's what we need, like the backbone, the structure, everything holds up under prayer, talking to God, being connected with God. So have somebody who's going to pray with you and for you. Have somebody who's going to be an accountability partner. Break up into twos so we have accountability partners. Have someone that, is good with, searching out recipes, doing, working well in the kitchen with herbs and spices and different vegetables and stuff. And so I broke it down to where everybody would have a part. And then they would come together and they would meet together, they would work out together, just do things as build this, health circle around each other.
And what's the name of the ministry?
No, it was just a presentation I did for
Okay,
the ministry at the church.
gotcha. No, sorry. Yes, but I'm saying, but the ministry that you are working on that is around small groups similar to that, what is that going to be called?
Well, the whole ministry is just Taylor's Holistic Approach Ministries. And
Okay.
so that's the title. It's under Taylor's Holistic Approach because that was like the initial name. And then when God did like the youth circle, okay, like turn to your people, then I said, okay, it's the ministry part. So there is one day if He directs me corporately, then I will go under Taylor's Holistic Approach, which the name I've had for many years. Uh, I don't know if you know, but it was before my massage business. So I had this
Mm,
idea that I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I was like, I wanted to go, I like doing massages. And I was like, okay, let me go. I went to school, got it certified, everything.
I love that.
And I had this big idea that I wanted to do a male pampering uh,
Mm,
station, as you will, but like the whole complex. I had that all laid out in my head where, women had somewhere to go. They had their beauty shops and they had the nail places or whatever. And so, do their stuff. And this would be exclusively for men. They would have massages, manicures, pedicures, just different things. And so that was Taylor's Holistic Approach initially.
wow, that was barbershop too. I think barbershop too across the street.
Yeah, yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
much
yeah.
was that, but not as much. Wow, that's a. I do remember the massage license. I feel like I kind of got a whiff of that business idea before, but not as I didn't hear it as thoroughly. That's pretty awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that.
So the massage thing didn't work out. I'm like, So I kind of dropped, but I just kept the name because it worked.
Yeah, yeah. Now hold on, it didn't work not because of like some creeps or something. It wasn't like
No,
okay.
no.
There's just a backstory connected to that.
Because it's like, well, it's like when something, like, I like doing them,
Mhm,
but it wasn't a passion. I was looking at the time at the money. Like,
mhm.
okay, if I could do like, $50 a pop, then,
Yeah.
that was good money. And then, I had the whole building all set up elaborately, tropical. tropically. And so, but it just, and then it was like, massages started being like $20, $25 for an hour. I'm like, nah, we're not doing that. So,
Wow. You were just ahead of your time.
yeah.
Because the way that self care has like
Mhm.
exploded over the past few years, even with
Right.
men. You go to Target and they actually have a full section of all this men's hair care and men's
Right.
facials and all
Yeah.
these different things. If you had that idea now, or someone else does, you know, it's not $50, 20, it's not that at all. It's like 300, $400 for a session. I heard people getting $1,000 haircuts,
Yeah.
like men,
Yeah. Yeah.
$1,000 haircut. So for
Yeah.
that, I'm probably even lowballing you, saying 300 or 400. It depends on what zip code you're in and who your clientele is. That might be like a $2,000 day. Like,
Right.
so you were just very much ahead of your time. However, to God,
However,
to God be the glory.
yes.
And then the U-turn happened,
Yes.
and now you focused on in the right direction.
Exactly.
Hallelujah. Okay.
Hallelujah. Amen.
All right. So um we know about the book. I think we talked about the book last time.
Yes.
Um and since then there's been other releases. I remember doing in the last episode, which you guys should go and watch. In the last episode, you talked about uh more releases that you had planned. So
Right.
since then, what else have we released?
I've released a journal since then,
Okay.
and it's journaling my journey to better gut health. And so in the journal, it's a 45-day journal, which the person writes, their thoughts. So there's 2 pages, and every day, the first page is sectioned off to what are you grateful for? Because a lot of times, stress, anxiety, that messes with your health, with your gut, with everything. And so it's like sometimes we just need to stop
Yeah.
and just, things aren't, they could be worse. They're not that bad. So what are you grateful for?
Yeah.
And then, of course, in reality, we come through challenges of the day. So the next section is, what were your challenges?
Mm,
And now looking at your gratefulness and looking at your challenges going forward, you know, what are your plans? How are you going to handle it, or whatever you want to, whatever your going forward is.
mm,
And then the second page is like, dear God. So a lot of times we just need to pour out. A lot of times there's not like a counselor handy or whatever. We just learn to leave to, it could be a daily prayer or nightly prayer, whichever. I don't know. People will do this at whatever time is convenient with them, whether it's in the morning when they get up or before they lay down. But just like, dear God, and just pour out your heart. So each day begins with a encouraging prayer. A Bible verse. So the Bible verse may be something like something that's affirming you, or a promise that God is giving you, or just, for you to realize that, you are not your own. You were bought with a price. So just different things. And at the end, there's a lot of affirmation verses at the end.
And so
And
in the book,
then, go ahead.
no, sorry, go finish.
No, I was just getting ready to say, and then I'm working on my next book about spiritual health.
Got it. And so your reason behind the journal, like what is the benefit of someone writing those things down, instead of just sitting and meditating and thinking about it? What do you think the benefits are in actual
It's
journaling?
a way of exit. Sometimes you can sit in stuff and you can think about stuff, but then it's still like there. That's why sometimes people go to counselors or therapists, because they need to speak it. And so this is just another way of getting it out.
Right.
Of, yeah, just releasing it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you want, to remember things as far as like the being grateful, how your day went or whatever. And it's unlike an adult diary. It's just like you're journaling your day. And in the back of the book, there is a food journal. So you're already journaling, what did I eat and how did that make me feel? And a lot of times, we eat things and we go later on, like, what did I eat? Because something's not right. But if
Mm,
we've written it down, we can go back and refer. And the same thing with this journal, go back and just, as a reference and as a release.
I like that. Sorry, I got a airplane flying over. I don't know if you could hear it or not, but
I did it.
it just, of course, that's what happens, when you in the middle of something.
Yeah. I
um,
didn't hear it.
okay, good job, Mike. So, when you're speaking about like the small groups and accountability and um, how that can benefit us because that's usually a big thing that's kind of missing. What's your vision of how a small group uses the journal and the book? Like how do they all tie in together?
So the journal is what the book is. What are we working with?
Hmm,
And how do we navigate through all of the things that are around us as far as like the food industry and stress and strain and whatever, so your groups can actually with the journal, you can partner with the food journal and you guys can have a discussion. Like a lot of times it's like, okay, what did you do? We're all different, and different, the same thing may affect us in different ways, but it's still like, you're not alone. So
yeah,
you can share, parts of your journal, parts of your journey within the group. It's a conversation starter within the
yeah,
group.
yeah. That makes sense because a lot of people do feel alone in those spaces.
Yeah,
Like
it's just like, that's why, like AAA, you have a partner,
yeah,
you know, and so, truth be told, we are, addicts when it
yeah,
comes to certain foods or whatever, and sometimes when we're about to, or it could be, your addiction could be, like stress could be, like you want this, and you put a lot of stress on yourself. But I like the way you said about self care. And that's what, basically, yeah, my mom always tells me, take care of yourself and then you can take care of others. So we have to put that self care in there. And it's not even like all of what you eat, but how are you eating?
yeah,
A lot of times, especially if you're in the workplace, you're gobbling your food down trying to get to the next thing, or you're working while you're eating. And so that also affects how your body intakes your nutrition and does the things that it's supposed to do. Because if you're stressed, your body is stressed, and it's just like wondering what's going on. So it's in this stance of protection. And when you're in a fighting mode like all the time, that's when inflammation comes. That's when illnesses come, uh, things like that.
I know that well. I've been saying that to myself recently. Like, man, what did I eat? Like, I feel something, whatever. In my 40s now, you feel something, and then
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like, did I drink soda? I didn't have any soda. Did I? What had sugar in it? What had? You're just trying to find it, and a
right,
lot of times you still just don't know. And
right.
so, you know, I think I was gonna say that I think that's one thing that's very different about men and women, like when it comes to their privacy about health. Like it feels like women are more um private about like how they feel about themselves on the outside. What's going on physically, the way they look, weight, blah blah blah. Men are kind of the same way but on the inside. Men don't really talk about when they're feeling too sick or they're in pain or this don't isn't acting like it used to act. So I can see having a small group, especially if those. I mean, I'm not saying it should be broken into separate genders, but if it is, another woman being able to share that with another woman is probably going to be different, and then a man
Right.
also being able to say like, yeah, bro, I feel you. Like my every time I get out the car too, my left toe be. I ain't know. I thought it was just me.
Exactly. Yes, yes, yes.
So I can see how that would
Yeah, and it is with the groups, it doesn't have to be a certain structure. I mean,
yeah.
it could be couples, it could be like you said, men and women. But it's just for them to get the support, get the encouragement, get the thing started, because All of this is you're trying to pay it forward to, your children, your grandchildren, and, your family around you. And that's another aspect of really trying to create these cells in order to strengthen people to change their mindset, realizing that it's a lifestyle change. It's not just I'm going to do this for, these 10 days or these 3 months or whatever, and I'm going to get to where I want to be. It doesn't work like that, because you have that mindset that one day I'm going to be able to go back. And why would you want to go back to what brought you illness in the first place?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that you can ever, eat those things again, but the famous thing
Moderation.
is in moderation, but cut
Moderation.
it all out, get yourself right first, and then you can
Yeah.
enjoy those things.
Yeah. I'm gonna speak for the people that, I'm pretty sure the people that have a lot, you know, crazier schedules than I have. But and I was thinking about like usually what you kind of hear in these stories of why people have a hard time maintaining a health regimen or a dietary regimen or whatever the thing is that is outside of their necessities, let's call them that, of their day-to-day life. I know you would argue that those things are necessities, but at least what they see as their necessities. Maybe they have a job that only gives them a 30-minute lunch. And it's like, I can't be taking my time. I got to walk through this, clock out. By the time I get to the car, I only got 20 minutes now and blah, blah, blah. And they got kids and money's tight and blah, blah, blah. How I feel like that's another area that people need some kind of help and structure with, of like, yes, you can tell me, yes, I can listen to you, I can watch this podcast and be like, wow, that Miss Jettie, she's got it. Like, I'm gonna read this book, I'm getting a journal, I'm all in. And then they get up from their laptop and then it's whoosh, their whole life comes crashing down and it feels like I can't do that right now. I gotta do this. Like,
Right.
what would you say to that person?
What's important to you? Because if you leave this earth today, all of that other stuff is still going to go on. So it's not like a lot of people say, well, if I don't do it, nobody will do it. But you have to think of yourself. You have to, and those, like with the job schedule and having time to eat or whatever, just figure out, what can I eat? Like, take your food with you. If you only have, you know 10 minutes to eat, just like, okay, what can I eat? You can't do it if you can't do it every meal, at least do it one meal, to where you just sit down and you slow down and you savor the flavor just in the moment. Your digestion system is relaxed. It's ready to receive what you're doing. A lot of time, it may be just, one meal. Maybe it's just your breakfast, or maybe it's just, your dinner when you get home. And that's another thing. It's just like sitting down at the table, and just enjoying present company, or if you're by yourself, being alone, that downtime. And just a lot of times, if we slow down, we won't eat as much. If you chew your food like you're supposed to, you won't eat as much. And so there comes, dealing with not having the sideboards and everything, because I know when I was younger I loved to eat. So I was like, I know how much I want to eat. So I'm going to put all this on my plate and I'm just going to go for it. Right?
Right. Let's talk about
And I
that.
could
That's the
do
big.
that when I was
Right.
younger. But
Right. That's the
now
thing.
that I have to realize that I'm not young anymore. And so
You
I
look pretty
know
young to me.
that my thanks. My body has changed. And so that's another thing people don't realize. It's like, yeah, I used to do that. I've done it all the time, but I've eaten this way all the time. But your body is not the same.
Hmm.
Look at your age. Your body is 40 years older, 50 years older, 60 years. So it doesn't work inside the same. And it requires something different once you get older. So we just have to, make some tweaks along the way and realize, okay, I need to pull back from this. Just I was listening to something today, like when you're younger, you have, you do protein drinks because you're, trying to build muscle or whatever. But when you get older, you need something for your joints. And so it's just like you have to shift. in order to really balance. And that's what it's really all about. It's balance
Yeah.
from the inside out. It's, it's just trying to find that balance, and sometimes it takes work, especially, it depends, like you said, you're super busy, your work is demanding, but you have to sit down yourself. I cannot tell you, okay, do this and this, because everybody is different, every situation is different. So you have to love yourself enough, won't change enough, to really sit down and try to work it out.
Yes. That part. That part. Yeah, because I mean, you hit it on the head. A lot of times we just, you want what you want, especially if it looks good. You've been waiting. You haven't eaten all day. The pizza's here. You went over to that family member's house. Thanksgiving dinner's here, or whatever it is. It's like, oh no, I need some of all of this. Like I'm not
Yeah.
eating a little bit of it. No, no, no. I want all of it. And halfway through, you might be sitting there like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through the rest of this, but I
Right.
am.
Right.
and
Yes. Yes.
and that is a struggle. And you make a really good point about how your body isn't working the same anymore. And I actually blame our Western culture on people not being able to look at themselves that way, because we are the country that says, age is nothing but a number. We're people say, you as old as you feel. We the
Right.
people that say, we see somebody that's whatever, like in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and they're telling us how 40 is the new 30 and 30 is the new 20. And so
Right.
we have this reductive, especially in age, kind of mentality. So if you live with that all the time, then no, I still have a youthful spirit, I still blah blah blah, I'm still young at heart. If that's the focus, it's hard to then in this one area go, but over here, my age is my age. That's that's a difficult thing to process and accept when you're, living your best life in your youthfulness. You know what I mean?
Right. But after years of abuse, it will show, and you will have to admit it.
Yeah, yeah,
A lot of people come to that point where, yeah, they trying to do the glide, but that glide got a little limp to it. You know, so it's like, yeah, no.
things have changed. Things have
Things have
changed.
changed, and and it's just like, no matter, like, on the outside we change, like,
Yeah,
we don't have that, our skin is different, our structure is different, and so the inside changes too. And so when we're doing this, extra makeup or tummy tucks or facelifts or whatever, well, imagine what your insides look like, because
haircut
it's doing
cut.
all the processed foods, it's doing all the toxic fumes, it's doing all the stress and strain, and it's just like there's a lot going on inside that we're just ignore. We're still, doing all the things we did when we were younger, but your inside was saying, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, you can't lift or tuck that. The insides
Yeah.
are what they are.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Like you used a word that's probably very hard for a lot of us to accept, was abuse. It's like, but if you think about it, if we all had to, in one room stack up every fast food bag you've ever purchased and got the chance to just sit back and look at it, it'd be like,
Right.
ugh,
Right. Right.
yikes! I
Yeah.
need another room. It'd be
That's true.
difficult.
That's true.
So,
And even some people don't realize, like, uh, lunch meat.
mm.
Like, they think that's like a healthy thing,
Oh yeah,
but it's
yeah, lunch
not.
meat's great.
The
Lunch
the
meat,
the way they process that
lunch
stuff,
meat is
and
super.
it's just like, okay, that turkey wasn't born looking like that. That ham wasn't born looking like that. So there was a process. There's preservatives. There's whatever, and so
Right.
it comes to where they've done these tests to where, there are, carcinogens in it. So they can cause cancer because they're like that unhealthy. They go along with the other junk foods. But people think when they make a sandwich, they go to the deli, make a sandwich, that they're eating healthy, but they're not. Or they
That's
get a
good.
salad, like I'm eating salad, but then they'll drench it with cheese and croutons and store bought salad dressing and it's just have a burger. You just killed the salad.
Might as well just got a double cheese. Just go on and enjoy that. That's tough though, because it feels like every health conversation I have leads me to something else I can have. It's like, oh, that used to be, hey, no, don't have don't go to a fast food place and go get burgers and nuggets or some chicken sandwich or tacos. That's what they used to say. Make a healthy turkey sandwich. That's a lot better. It's a lot better
Yeah.
for your heart. It's a lot better, for calories. Um, humble. That's exactly what I had to say. All the
Sorry.
croutons and salad dressing. Could have had a double cheeseburger. Now I know we're being funny about it, but would you say you wouldn't say literally you might as well have a cheeseburger? You're just saying it's not as beneficial. And I'm saying this, and I want to make this uh, clarification if I'm even on the right track, because there might be someone that says, well, fine, because I don't like it like that. So then I'm just going to have a double cheeseburger. Like, is there actually a benefit in going the salad with all the croutons and all the dressing as opposed to the slices of pizza?
Of course, of course. I mean, it is, but it's like a lot of times people say I'm eating salad because it sounds good and it sounds healthy, right? But when you add a lot of stuff on it, it's like it's not healthy.
Hmm.
So it's, yeah, it may not be as bad as pizza or a double cheeseburger, but it's hurting you just the same. Because like the store bought dressing, it has sugar in it, it has preservatives in it, color added. So all these things, are still you're still intaking them, and they're still, are you? It's kind of like you're fighting against yourself. Like I'm trying to do good, but then I got the bad in it. So it's like it's like you're kind of like zeroing it out.
So then, so what in the grocery store, where should we go? Like, what's still, once we take upon this life, once we realize, what, I have abused my body for whatever amount of years, and whatever amount of years I have going forward, I want to stop the abuse today. So now when I go back to the store, I can't just grow my food because some of those take 18 months to finally like yield some product. Um, I need to go to the grocery store. What can I get?
Okay, so I talk a lot about fruits and vegetables because one of the base scriptures for the ministry is Genesis 1:29, where when God created the earth, he named the vegetation and he said, "This should be your food." And so this should be the mainstay in on a plate. We should have more vegetables than we do meat. I'm not saying you can't have meat, but just, it's like how like there's a lot of animal cruelty going on. It's just like with these commercial farms and stuff, you have all of these, cows. They're just, all they do is they have this slot and their head is through it to eat, and they're standing there and they don't get exercise. You got these pigs that are all smashed together. You got chickens doing the same thing. And so the animals are stressed and they're unhealthy. And so if you want to, go the meat route, then get like something that's grass fed, free range. If you're going the seafood route, make sure that it's not farm raised because the farms are filthy. Just make sure that it's like they say it's pole caught or it's wild caught. So it's just a way of just getting more vegetables on your plate. There's all kind of recipes out there for different types of dishes because people think, when you say you're going healthy and it's just like, oh, I'm so tired of salad. But you have to be creative and you have to go out there. There's so much more out there to eat other than salad. And you don't have to do it all at once. But just have your goal of, okay, I'm going to eat one more, vegetable this week. I'm gonna introduce one more vegetable to myself this week, and I'm just gonna, do it like that, 1 week at a time or 1 month at a time or whatever. It's just that as long as you're going toward your goal, you don't have to do it all at once, because sometimes that sets yourself up for failure. A lot of times when people say, "Oh, I want to go to the gym," and then they go to the gym and they're all out, and then they get burnt out, and then all of a sudden, they don't go anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just, doing it just step by step at your own pace, with support and accountability and people to encourage you along the way. Oh, you're doing it. Oh, that's great. Oh, you're looking good. Or, oh, I see you worked out.
Yeah.
Just sometimes we need that affirmation.
Very true.
But then all the time, having that prayer life with God is so essential,
Hmm.
because that will set you up for success. God knows, but we need to get it out. We need to talk to Him. We like, Lord, I'm struggling, or whatever, or I just need your help, or just that building that relationship with the Lord will give you that strength, will give you that determination to just keep going.
Yeah. And it sounds like that's kind of your um, theory around the small group is that you have those people that are saying, "Oh, you looking good. Oh, you told me you're going to work out. You still there? Okay, good. I can tell, those kind of
Right.
things." Yeah.
Right. Right. Because God gives us affirmations and promises in the Bible, but we also need them for, the people that are around us, that are looking at us. We need that. That's the way we're built. We seek comfort. We seek, and just people just saying, good things about us or liking us, or, that's just our nature. And, and God said that, He told Adam, it's not good for man to be alone. And so we're built for, partnership.
True. True. Well, speaking of that, it's time to play a game. The game that we're gonna play is called ooh, ooh. The, the game is called Hip Hop Hooray! Ho! Hey!
Mm.
Ho!
Oh,
Hmm.
no, no.
Oh, this is a mainstay here on Pod is Good Now. Everyone that comes on the broadcast has to play Hip Hop Hooray. It is becoming the staple now. So,
Okay.
so I'm hoping that I took it easy on you. It's just 3 questions. I will tell you the first line of this particular excerpt from a song, and you
Ooh.
just have to tell me the next line. That's it. That's it. If you even get close, I'll go ahead and give you the point. Okay?
Okay. All right.
All right. We're going to start with this one. This should be fun. Oh, baby, you got what I need. But
You say you're just a friend. You say
hey,
you're just a friend.
yes, yes. 1 point, mama. Nice work. Nice work. All right, next one. This one might be a little harder because this first line is only 2 words. But if
Oh,
you know it, if you know it, you know it. You ready?
yeah.
Lottie dottie.
We like to party. Something, 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 and we don't bother nobody.
Yes. 2 for 2. My mom is killing it. 2 for 2. Look at that. Get some vegetables in your life, people. Get some fruits and vegetables in your life. All right, last one. Last one. It's a little longer, but I have faith in you right now. You got the momentum. Here we go. Clap your hands, everybody, if you got what it takes.
I'm Curtis Blow, and I want you to know that these are the breaks.
What? 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 You did it. You did it. Oh my goodness. Superstar. Superstar. No one has gotten 3 out of 3. Most people don't even get one. They might be like, yeah, but you showing favoritism to your mom. Whatever. I do what I want to do. But that was so good. That was so good. Great work. Great work, mom. That was awesome. Wow. Curtis Blow, Slick Rick. What was the other one? Um, I forgot the first one. Anyway, you got it. Whatever it was.
Say you're just a friend.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, baby, Biz Marquee. Biz Marquee. Wow. I didn't know. I didn't. Who was your favorite rapper when you were younger? Did you have a favorite rapper?
no,
No.
no.
Did you listen to much? I mean, I know you heard it because it was all the rave, but did you was anybody like any songs that jumped out to you? What was hip hop in your life? I'm trying to figure out where I got it from. Where was hip hop in your life when you were a young lady growing up?
I don't know. Okay, so hip hop is 50 years old, and I'm 63, so I was 13. Um, hmm.
But didn't really like go mainstream until I was born. Around 79 is when um I believe that's when Sugar Hill Gang released their song.
Yeah. I don't know, because I mean, like, I didn't. I don't remember listening to anybody specifically. It was like a lot of like, bands, girl bands and things like that. And
Yeah.
with you, I think you just evolved into hip hop because when you were a teenager, you like listened to the big band sound, the country music. You had like everything flowing. So
That's true.
I think like you just kind of like honed in on hip hop and it just stuck, but you were well versed in a lot of different music genres when you were growing up.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember listening to, I think it was Muddy Waters. I had a Muddy
You were
Waters
like
tape,
Count Basie
Count
and
Bass. And I remember y'all like, that's before our time. Why are you listening to
right.
that?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, and I see that in all my kids, but really in the youngest, I'm starting to see this affinity. Eden is just having this affinity for music, and you can hear her almost like, or even see her. She's like calculating the music. You know what I mean? She's
Uh,
not just listening to it. We put on
right.
some songs the other night, and she's in there by herself singing, performing to an empty room. But she's also like thinking while she's doing it. Like she's saying,
Mhm.
and I mean, just processing. And I'm like,
Yes, yes.
this
She tries to do praise dance to the music. Because I noticed that she tries to interpret when she's dancing. She
that's
tries to
awesome.
interpret what she's hearing. So yeah,
That
yeah,
is awesome.
yeah.
Okay, so where does again, I always want to kind of give people some kind of action right before we get done, because a lot of people listen to the show. We have some great information that people have given out. People get stirred up and they're like, oh yeah, I like this. This feels like something I want to do. This feels like a change that I've been kind of looking for, maybe even something that I felt in prayer, and this feels like an answer to that prayer. It's like, all right, but what's step one? You know what I mean? It sounds great, but what is step one? I click the end of this podcast, and then what do I do?
Step one is prayer.
Mm,
It's a journey and it's a lifestyle change. Those are the things that you have to remember, that it's no matter whether it's high blood pressure, whether it's diabetes, whether it's heart disease, no matter what it is, it's like you have to start with prayer. You have to. That's one of the things that's in the book, the spiritual health book, is building that relationship with God so that you could have that firm foundation. We want a lot of things, but then we have to ask Him for strength and for guidance, and then just going talking about it so that you will find like-minded people like, oh yeah, I've been wanting to do that too, and let's try to do this together. So going out and forming your own groups. I was trying to contact heads of churches like pastors and sending them my book and sending them presentations and really telling them, the heart of God for the people of God. But you, at the same time, you have to realize that you can't lead where you won't go.
Hmm.
So if you're not ready to buckle down and to really do this thing, then how are you going to present it to me
Yeah.
when you need it too? But this is for
You
y'all.
got to do it.
Right, right.
Right.
So it starts with God, and then making that decision, partnering up with people, and then and then planning it out. Like, your life, the obstacles or whatever, as far as like, like the stress of your life. What can I do to reduce some of the stress in my life? And as far as like even like chemicals, like some people do burn certain candles, or they're spraying their house with house spray. What kind of chemicals are is in that? Just really trying to lay down and assess your life, laying it down in front of you, and just seeing where you can make small changes, gradual changes, until the more you do, the more you will do.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And are you um either now or in the future going to offer any um hired guidance, maybe is a good way to say it, to assist groups that are trying to build and grow, or they can say, hey, we have six of us that are thinking of starting, and then you coaching might be a good word to use. Are you planning on offering anything like that?
If it comes, yes, I can. I can offer that. My thing is just really, you just never know how God is going to do. My thing is, I was just trying to do large groups as far as like addressing congregations,
Yeah.
and and telling them about the book, and giving them structure as to how to structure their groups and breaking up and whatever. And also, I'm working on doing a health retreat,
Mm,
so a health retreat where I would take people for starting out. Maybe the first one would be just like a weekend, but then ultimately the ultimate goal is like a week, and teaching them, like having cooking classes. A lot of times, like with people, I don't know how to cook or whatever. So having cooking classes, with I'm getting ready to do a plant-based cooking class. So teaching them how to prepare vegetables in different ways, meats in different ways, having counseling sessions, because a lot of times people, it's a mental thing as well. So our gut feeds everything. Anything we eat, we have to eat with purpose, on purpose. So it's just like, okay, what is this doing? Because I need, my gut, my inside is counting on me for nourishment, and so what am I doing for that? So just having conversations. So yeah, that would be
absolutely.
something that I would could do.
I like it. So it sounds like if someone either had their own home church, maybe knew the leadership or was part of the leadership, them getting in contact with you, and maybe you presenting something for the church or to the leadership of the church would be good, because maybe that's a way that they can help their congregation get guided in the right direction.
Yes, they could use the book in any kind of way. I was told earlier, I was talking to a church in Atlanta, Georgia. And so right now they're doing a health challenge, and it's like a
It's
year
always
long.
good. It's always good.
Yeah. And
Never go
so
wrong with a health challenge.
so I had presented my book to them. I sent my book to them, and so they read it and really liked what's in it. So they do a health blog, and so they said that they will be quoting some of the things out of my book into their health blog. So that's how they're using it. Another church wants to do a health fair, and
Mm.
so just, I'm open to however it gets the word out and get people to not only just talking about it, but really doing it, implementing all of the things that they need to do.
And that's what I was trying to check. My temperature check was to try to figure out, is this more of, I've created the materials, God has blessed me and kind of given me this direction, and here's the book, here's the journal, there's more things to come. Those are the tools. Now take the tools and kind of build this out yourselves, or was it that all the way to, hey, if your congregation needs it, fly your girl out. I'll come. We'll get it all set up. Boom, boom, boom. We can set up a 6 week this or a 3 week that or a 4 month whatever, and I'll help everybody kind of get this ball rolling, and then let you complete the task yourself.
Yeah, it's whatever it calls for. It could be any of that.
Okay, I like it.
Because some people don't need that guidance. They just
Right,
needed, this resource. And so this is the source. Okay, now we're going to take this and we're going to run with it.
right.
Like this other company, this other church in Atlanta, they already set up their whole program. And so
Mm,
now they're just using some of the information from the book. And then, of course, they said that they're going to reference my book and have like a link to the book where they can go and they can purchase the book.
nice. All right. Well, Mom, I think we have done enough for the people. I think we've given them a lot. And before we finish, was there anything that we didn't touch on that you wanted to make sure you said today, or did we kind of cover it all?
I think we kind of covered it all with my last statement about, no matter what condition you're in, um, don't wait to
Hmm.
start. A lot of people say, I want the new year or after my birthday or first of the month. Like, today is your day. Like, do something. A little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. And say talk is cheap. So, just if you really are sick and tired of being tired and sick, then, just do it. Don't be comfortably uncomfortable and say, oh, this is just the way it is. God doesn't want that. God wants you vibrant and healthy, and people are surprised when, oh, you're 90, oh, you're 100. That shouldn't be a surprise.
Mm,
If we live the life that God has planned for us, it's simple. It's eating the fruits and vegetables, eating healthy meats, drinking your water, getting your exercise, connecting with people in communion, have a fellowship, a friendship, a relationship rather with God. I mean, it's just like it's all set there. We just have to do it.
yeah. Yeah, and that's huge. The just do something, even start small, is big, because I know we've all been there where you have that light bulb moment. You're like, okay, that's it. Tomorrow this, or right now I'm not eating any more of this. I'm going grocery shopping tomorrow, and by the time you wake up, you feel lighter. It's like you ain't do nothing. Like nothing happened. Maybe you added an apple that night, and now you're like, oh yeah, I can feel it. Feel it sliding off me already. Because a lot of it is the way we feel and the way we think of
Yeah,
ourselves, and all those other factors that aren't just on the outside of what other people see.
right. And being consistent. That's the thing. If you take that one thing and you just continually, consistently do it, you're finding yourself like when you that success that you're having,
Yeah.
you know, it wants you to, okay, what else can I do? And just add a little bit more and just be continue to be consistent with it.
Consistent. I feel like I need a sound effect like every time somebody says the word consistent, because I literally have heard it um from investment instruction, to learning to play the guitar, to practicing tai chi, to um purchasing real estate, now to health and diet. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
consistency is such a big deal that I
it
feel like I
is.
want it to be my Spike Lee's message. Like I want consistent to be message. Maybe that's the sound, not a bell, just another ode to hip hop, because Spike Lee is definitely hip hop. I should be hitting the message every time someone says consistent. I love that. I love that. All right, Mom. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course, anytime. And you already know how we sign off, so I don't got to give you
I already know.
instruction. Pod
Bring it
is
on.
good,
All the time.
and all the time.
Pod is good.
Love you, Mom. Thank you.
Love you too.
All right.
All right. Bye bye.
All right, you guys. Wow, that was good. That was my mama. So, pardon the smiles and the big cheeks. Hey, this is what it is. It's my mom. But wasn't she great? Wasn't that another great episode? That was, anyway, I know right now you probably had a lot. You thought a lot. Maybe she said some things that made you go, "Ah, I don't want to do all that." I get it. We all get a little uncomfortable when there's change. Just remember, this message isn't for everybody, but if you felt like it was for you, there may be something there. That's all I'm gonna say. Like she said, step one, you go pray about it. You go pray about it. Find out if God has something in that for you, and if so, then move on to step two. I don't know if we got to it in the episode, but once again, my mom's book is called "It Just Makes Gut Sense." She also has a journal. If you go look for the book, I think it's on Amazon. You'll see the journal as well. You can get them together separate, however you want to do it. But they are great tools to help you in this journey because, as we all know, one of the hardest, most difficult journeys that we deal with every year, it feels like, is health. And if you feel like this time last year, I'm way better and I'm on a perfect journey myself, cool. You already good. But if you look back at this very day, whatever day you're in right now, 1 year ago, and you feel like you're in the same place or worse, maybe it's time to try something new. If you enjoyed the content, please like, subscribe, share any fun thing that you want. I'm your man, Cashmere, California, and I will see y'all on the next episode. Peace.